So today in my speaker community, one of the speakers asked me to tell a story about a time that I bombed on stage. I've been thinking about this all day and I couldn't think of a single time, and then I realized why. It's because I bombed so hard the first time that I ever stepped foot on a stage that I think it scared the crap out of me, and I made sure that it never happened again. So I was 15 years old and I was a shy kid. I did not want to be a public speaker at all. I started this because of a tragedy. I had a friend in high school that lost her life to suicide. To me, she was a happy girl. She was a go-lucky girl. She was a class clown. I mean, she was the one that would always greet you at the door with a smile on her face. So when I heard what happened to her, I realized that she wore the same fake smile that I wore. I came to school every day pretending to be okay. On the outside, it looked like everything was perfect, but on the inside, I was a completely different person. I had fighting parents at home. They were 16, 17 years old when they had me. We were living in a trailer at the time. We were broke. I mean, she had two parents, a house, and all this stuff. And I remember thinking that as a kid, it was like, she has everything that if I had, I would be happy, right? That's what I thought. And so when this happened, I thought, how many other kids are coming to school every day hiding behind this fake smile? Like, how many of them are going unnoticed, and how long until it's too late for them too? So with a sense of urgency, I felt like I had to do something. Now, my secret superpower, per se, was that I made music. And music was my expression. It was the way that I put my feelings out into the world. And at the time, I didn't really share it with many people, but I was like, you know what? I think music is a universal language. If I could just put these emotions into this music, and if I could play this at schools, then maybe the kids wouldn't feel so alone in their feelings. I mean, think about it. Like, some of us, we have a hard time talking to people about our feelings, but we go drive around in the car, listen to our favorite artists, and even though we don't know the artist personally, we relate to the artist through the emotions and the music, and that makes us feel better because we're not alone in our feelings. Maybe that's why they say music's medicine. It fixes the symptoms. It's not a long-term fix, but when I was 15 years old, it's all I knew. So I put together a song, and I was taking it to this thing called Be the Difference Day. My town was dealing with a epidemic. We had 12 students in one school year attempt to take their life. It was a big deal. So they were doing this big old memorial thing. It was called Be the Difference, about creating change and breaking chains and all that stuff. And so I put together a song. And I went to the superintendent of the district and I asked if I could perform my song. And at this Be the Difference Day, there was other speakers, and one of them, his name is Melvin Adams. And Melvin is a former Globetrotter, one of my mentors still to this day. He did not have to help me at all, but he saw me perform my song that day. And I did a good job with the song because the song was something I rehearsed and I remembered, and I'm good with music. But after the song, I tried to tell a story and I tried to articulate my emotions and my feelings in a way that was presentable to the audience, and I ate it. I stuttered, I looked at the ceiling, I stared at the ground, and I pretty much just quit. Like 5 minutes in, I thought I had 15. 5 minutes in, I said everything that I thought I was going to say in all the wrong order, and I just frantically looked around for somebody to hand the mic to, and I peaced out. I actually don't even have much memory after that moment besides Melvin coming over to me on the side of the stage. He put his arm around me. I thought he was going to say something uplifting, and he goes, "That was terrible." And my heart sank, bro. My stomach sank. I felt sick. And he just told me the truth, though. He looked me dead in the eyes and he goes, "You weren't looking at the audience. You don't know how to speak to people." And he's like, "But I would love to teach you." He's like, "I love your heart. I love your passion. I love your music." He said, "Your music right now," I'll never forget this. He goes, "Your music right now is like your right hand." He's a basketball guy, so he used a basketball analogy. He's like, "It's like your right hand. You're really good with your right hand. You can dribble, you can shoot, you can go right. But right now, speaking is your left hand and you can barely use it." He said, "I want to make you so good with your left hand that you don't even have to use the right." And I'll never forget this. He said, "One day you will be so good at speaking that people won't even know that you make music." And at the time, I just wanted to make music, so that didn't really make sense to me. But now I get it. Like, now I get paid tens of thousands of dollars just to speak, not because I'm a speaker that also makes music and is relatable to the audience and people love music. That is how I used to get booked early on in my career. People booked me because they wanted to hear the music and the speech was okay, and that's good enough because the music was great. But now it's like people don't even know that I make music half the time. They're just booking me because I've learned to be a great speaker. And so I went underneath the wing of Melvin Adams for a really long time. Year after year after year, when he came to the Texas part of his tour, he would take me underneath his wing. I would go to schools with him and other speakers that he was bringing on the road. I did that for years. And then I went to work with an agency and I was doing about 80 plus gigs a year. I got put through boot camp with Melvin. Melvin would go over the intercom and he would try to disrupt my programs. He would go over the intercom and like order a burger while I'm on stage. Like, yes, can I get a Big Mac with fries? Like, seriously, anything he could do to distract me, he would do it and make other people laugh. He would get up in the middle of the presentation and just start screaming stuff from the crowd to see how I'd handle it. He'd cut my mic, he'd cut the lights, he'd cut the music. He would do anything to try to throw me off my game. And after working with Melvin for years, there's nothing that you could do to me on stage that can throw me off. I control the crowd. I controlled the situation. I got put through speaker boot camp, basically. And that is why I have not bombed since the very first time that I got up on stage. And who knows? Maybe you just have to get comfortable being uncomfortable, and then you never have to feel the uncomfortable feeling of bombing ever again. Don't know if that made sense, but that's it for today's video. If you have any more stories you want me to tell or any questions you want me to answer, put them in the comments below, and I will see you next time. Peace.